Hey everyone, my name is Daniel. I'm on the Jira Work Management team, and today I want to tell you how to break down silos without breaking the bank. Now, in my role at Atlassian, I talk to enterprise companies all the time to try to better understand how their teams collaborate with each other. We cover what's working and not working. Usually, there's a lot more in the not working bucket, but each company is different. They all have their unique challenges, but there's one problem I hear from just about every single company. And I can just see the angst in their face when they tell me, they say, Daniel, we've got all these tools to help teams manage and deliver work. Our marketing team wasn't happy in one tool, so we got one they liked. Our finance team wanted something else, so we got one they liked. Our design team wanted something else, so we got one they liked. And now everyone's got their tools. They're using them. They seem happy with them. So we should be more productive, right? Couldn't be more wrong. They say somehow we know even less about what's going on than we did before. Information is everywhere. Work's getting duplicated. Leadership doesn't know what's going on. And these companies aren't wrong for adopting all these tools. Teams work differently, and sometimes they need tools that are purpose built for their ways of working. But the problem is when everyone's in a different tool, there really hasn't been a great way to help teams make the connection to existing knowledge and data. And that's when projects really break down at scale. And I bring up the lack of connection to knowledge and data between tools because research has shown that people spend less than 40% of their day doing their actual work, and instead 30% of their time is spent searching for information. And that's usually a direct symptom of teams working in silos. And on top of the time spent searching for information, even more time is spent waiting for answers, needing to repeat answers, doing manual tasks to get information over to other teams. And none of this is the actual work itself. And that's why I'm so excited to talk about Jira Work Management today, because teams really need a tool that's going to give them the flexibility to work differently alongside the context they need to work together. And that's what Jira Work Management does. It connects the dots so teams can collaborate, align, and deliver work in ways that are right for them. And in doing so, it's going to save you a lot of money in the process. And don't take it from me. Here's a quote from Rob Mulvaney, who oversees agile transformation at Lumen. He said, "Our business teams needed to align with delivery teams, but also wanted to continue their own ways of working. Jira Work Management and its integration with Jira software means that our teams stay connected." Now, let's break down some of what Rob said here. First, he talked about helping teams continue their own ways of working. So let's start by talking about how Jira Work Management does just that. Now, when we say Jira Work Management helps teams manage work in ways that are right for them, we mean it. Jira Work Management has dozens of templates pre-configured to help teams from marketing to HR, ops, legal, sales, and more tackle work from the get-go. These templates come pre-configured based on a variety of different use cases. So if we take HR here as an example, we can use a recruiting template to monitor candidates from application to offer. Or if we're in operations, we can use a procurement template to help us track orders from request to receipt. And each team works differently. And with Jira Work Management, we help teams create the processes that are going to help them do their best work. So you can kick off your project with a pre-configured template, or you can completely customize your processes using the workflow editor in Jira Work Management. With workflows, no matter how simple or complex your project is, Jira Work Management allows you to create consistent steps that matches how your teams uniquely get things done. And we know how you get things done changes over time or project to project. So we've worked to make editing and optimizing the way you work in Jira Work Management easier and faster than ever before by allowing you to add, edit, or delete new stages in your workflow in line from the board with a single click. So if something changes in your team's processes, you can easily reflect it on the fly by adjusting your workflow from directly within the board. And teams usually have more than one way they want work to flow, depending on the type of work that it is. You might want certain types of work to go through a simple process, and other types you might want, something much more rigorous. And thanks to Jira Work Management's new feature, multiple workflows, we allow you to create different processes for the different types of work that your team does and switch between them in the same project. So now your teams can move work forward in unique ways, all in one place. And we know it's not just how work flows that's unique to every team, but also how you view your work. Jira Work Management has multiple views, so teams can tackle work in different ways. So here's a look at the list view. The list is our modern take on the spreadsheet. So from here, it's really easy to quickly create and view details about all of your work without needing to open up tasks one by one. And next here, we've got the calendar view, which gives you a visual by due date view of tasks and allows you to track work you've missed, stay on top of upcoming deadlines, and get a quick glance of what the next few weeks look like. Next, here we've got the timeline view, which helps you quickly understand how your work connects to the overall project, as well as the dependencies between them. And then last, we've got the board view, which is the easiest way to visualize the status of all of your team's work and really the process that it flows through. And from directly within the board, we're making it even easier to add adjustments to your workflow. So now you can move columns around, collapse or expand the ones that matter. This way you can more easily keep your most important work front and center. And with the introduction of board grouping, now you can see work in more ways than ever before. So maybe you're on a marketing team and you want to see work by the type of channel you're marketing in. Now you can create categories and group your work by themes like email or ads or content or really whatever you like. Or maybe you're a team lead and you want to see how your work is being distributed across your team. Now you can group your work by assignee or priority straight from the board. And grouping is just one way we help you work differently. But we also really extend that flexibility by allowing you to filter projects by even more fields than ever before. So now you'll be able to filter by custom fields to get more granular with how you view your work. And you'll also be able to name and save that filter so you can easily jump back to it, share it, or set it as your default every single time you log in. So with every person having the ability to set views for themselves, we really continue to enable teams to work differently together. Now, I said work differently together, two really important pieces in that statement. And if we go back to Rob's quote, he talks about how Jira Work Management enables teams to work differently. But he also emphasizes how Jira Work Management keeps their teams connected, bringing visibility and transparency to everyone's work. And this speaks to the problems that I hear from so many enterprises. Being in different tools helps their teams work differently, but they miss the context. They lack the ability to easily share information, and that results in people spending the majority of their time looking for information or doing a ton of legwork to get things shared. And that's what makes it so tough for enterprises to break free from these silos. So with that, let's talk about how Jira Work Management automates context sharing, unblocking teams to spend more time on the actual work so they can deliver at scale. And to give a little bit of color, let's walk through a scenario you might have experienced before. As a marketer, it's definitely one that I know I have. So let's say your engineering and product teams are working closely on a new feature. They've been collaborating great for weeks, tracking to the delivery date. They're excited. It's about to go live. And they reach out to marketing and say, hey, we built this new feature. Can you launch it? And marketing's like, launch it. Why are we just hearing about this now? But what can they do? They scramble, build a last minute campaign, put it out there. Then customers start hearing about it, but they've got questions. They reach out to sales and support teams about the feature, but sales and support are like, what feature? They reach back up to marketing and say, hey, why aren't we enabled on this new feature? Now sales is mad at marketing, marketing's mad at product, customers got a bad experience. It's a lose-lose-lose for everyone. And with Jira Work Management, we're solving that. Because Jira Work Management is built on the Atlassian platform, it's easy to automate work across tools so teams have all the context they need to work differently together. So let's go back to that same scenario, but this time around they use Atlassian. So the engineering team is working on that new feature with product. And to kick things off, they create a release in Jira software to begin tracking their work. Instead of the dev team having to go and tell marketing about the new feature release, with Jira Work Management, it's automatically shared with them thanks to our new feature called Shared Release Dates. With Shared Release Dates, upcoming releases in Jira software can automatically be synced to your business team's calendars in Jira Work Management. So now the marketing team can stay up to date and plan side by side with the development teams with every new feature launch. If dates get accelerated or pushed, no problem. Your marketing team knows automatically without ever having to leave Jira Work Management. And not only is the marketing team able to see the new release in their calendar, they can actually also automatically have tasks created in Jira Work Management triggered by that new release using automation. So once the release gets created in Jira software, we can set up an automation to automatically create a series of assigned tasks in Jira Work Management and then notify, let's say, the marketing team in Slack about the new release at the same time. And one of those tasks might be to create new ads to promote that new feature we're launching. So let's say Jane from the marketing team knows she needs to reach out to a designer to create those new ads. But instead of losing time trying to find the right contact and design to reach out to, or maybe go back and forth with them around requirements, Jane can quickly fill out a form in Jira Work Management and have the request automatically get added to the design team's project and assigned to the right person on the team. So now with the task added to the design team's project in Jira Work Management, the design team can get started and now has a central place to collaborate with Jane on those new ads. And thanks to embedded smart links, you'll see here the design can actually embed their Figma file directly into the task and give Jane a real-time window into the work that's happening in Figma. So now there's no more uncertainty about the latest versions of the designs or how things are going. And now once the designs are finished, the designer might want to make sure, they get approved by, let's say, Jane's manager or someone else before marking it done. But instead of the designer needing to track down who the approver is, follow up with them to remind them to approve it, or maybe be unsure if approval is really official, we can automate that entire process with Jira Work Management's new approvals feature. Approvals in Jira Work Management allow teams to build defined points in their workflow to request and document approvals before a task moves to the next step. And then once a task reaches that approval step, the approver gets notified automatically to make a decision. So on top of saving time and really ensuring consistency in your processes, approvals give teams peace of mind that important decisions are being tracked. So there's really no questions about who approves what and when. So thanks to forms and approvals, both marketing and design were able to collaborate seamlessly on those ads for the product launch, really spending their time creating instead of on administrative legwork. So with those new ads ready to go, Jane's manager might want to see, how the rest of the teams are moving forward with the launch. And she knows the results of her campaign are going to rely on some decisions from other teams like finance. And so to get a big picture view of all the teams' work in one place, she uses a new feature in Jira Work Management called Overviews. Overviews in Jira Work Management allow teams to aggregate work across multiple projects into a single view. So instead of needing all teams to work out of the same project, teams can work in their own projects and use cross-project overviews to bring them together in a single view. So now that we've got this overview built for our product launch, the marketing lead can see the finance team's work side by side with theirs in the timeline. And maybe they've got a question about the budget for their campaign. Thanks to our overview, they can see that finance has already completed the budget. And then to get more detail, they can click into the task to learn more. And here we can see the task opened up. And what you'll notice is there's a spreadsheet embedded right in the description. So just like that Figma file I showed you before, this spreadsheet is also visible thanks to smart links. Through embedded smart links, we automatically give teams a real-time window into work that's happening in another tool. And so in this case, we've got a live view of the finance team's Google Sheet, so marketing can stay up to date with the budget in real time. And so by connecting work from other tools, Atlassian automatically helps reduce time lost by giving teams the context they need to keep work moving forward. And features like cross-project overviews, approvals, and more will all be available soon through Jira Work Management's Premium Edition. Now, you might be saying, great, this all sounds good, but Daniel, isn't it going to be expensive? The answer is no, it's actually likely to save you money. A recent enterprise customer expects to save over $90,000 a year by switching to Jira Work Management. And before the move, they were using 3 different project management tools at the same time to meet the needs of different teams across the company. But by switching to Jira Work Management, they're able to consolidate all these project management tools, save on administrative costs, and allow their teams to keep working differently together. And if that wasn't savings enough, Jira Work Management is accessible for free for any user with a Jira software license through March 2024. So if you already own Jira software, you can start using Jira Work Management today at no extra cost. And even with that savings, we recognize there's a lot of legwork to move from one platform to another. And so that's why we're focused on making that process a whole lot easier with the launch of our new importer, where we make migrating your work into Jira Work Management really a piece of cake, whether it's from a CSV or from another project management tool. You can easily move your work into Jira Work Management without missing a beat. So don't wait any longer. Make the switch to Jira Work Management today so you can start delivering complex projects better together and save some money in the process. As always, we love hearing from you, so please reach out to us through the Atlassian community. Thanks so much.